We're back with Talkin Tanks. And we're gonna do the T110E5 line. I know I did this line before, but the circumstances weren't the greatest, so now I'm gonna go over it proper. The T110E5 line. It's a high DPM American Tier 10 heavy. It's a pretty solid tank, can't really go wrong with it. We're going to start at Tier 5 because that's when it officially becomes a heavy. We're going to do a couple battles in each one. And I'll probably pick a premium to do along the way. Maybe. We'll do it after. And we'll just go over the ups and downs of all of them. First things first, the T1 Heavy. It got buffed a year ago, maybe, or something. This thing's awesome. It's heavier than a Tiger 1. Or about as heavy as a Tiger 1. Weighing almost 60 tons. And this thing can move. It moves pretty fast. I don't use DPM on this thing. I'm built for full mobility and survivability. So yeah. Premium probably will be Renegade. It's probably the closest one to the T110E5. Yeah, T1, it's very solid. I'd say other than the KV1, this would be the next heavy to get. It's very solid. You got low alpha, decent penetration at 128, which is not bad for Tier 5. It's terrible if you're meeting Tier 7. 177 with gold, not horrible. My gun is 3.3, that's without a rammer or food. You can get it lower. 10 degrees of gun depression. Very snappy aim time. Dispersion is 0.4 though, so this thing's best in close quarters with a solid 2000 DPM, which is really not bad at Tier 5. You can also throw this thing's weight around. As you can see, I'm pretty much set for a ram build, so I may or may not get some ramming done today. Almost 1,000 hit points, rocking 910. It's not bad. Whole armor is 95 to the front, 52 to the side, 46 to the rear. You can side scrape. The issue is these little flaps. This camo makes it kind of hard to see, but this spot right here is very weak. The whole front of the chassis is kind of weak, but if you're trying to side scrape, this is the easiest spot to go through. Turret armor is much thicker than it used to be at 178 frontally, 83 to the side and rear. It's not bad. It's a solid Tier 5. With a turbo, I go up to 39, so I think this thing goes about 35.5 usually. And I go 16 backwards, which is less than ideal, so forwards only. You have no camo to speak of, and I don't have a crew good enough to have any view range worth a damn, so mine's set for brawling and ramming. We're going to give it a couple goes and see where this leads. This is basically the introduction to the T110E5 line. Can't argue with it. After we do the T110E5, or yeah, I'll do the premium after I do everything. So first things first, we got ideal matchmaking. We're up against Tier 4s. This is horrendously unfair for them. The heavies might be a little bit of an issue, but we'll work through it. Got my Offspring camo on here. As you can see, the bloom's pretty large. I mean, it's snappy when it aims, but it's less than ideal. But this thing moves. Like, I'm cruising for a heavy that weighs 58 tons. There's no complaints here. Okay, well, that was terrible on me. I'm blind as hell, though. I'm just trying to get some early crossfires. I really like this Churchill to peek so I can shoot him through his tracks, but if my team's got crossfire, I'm not too worried. What I'm going to try to do is come help out over here because I cannot have that Juno actually do anything to my people. I love the Juno. It's very solid. I'd say pretty damn dangerous. Now if I aim, this does a lot better. Okay, I made a poor decision. I'm not gonna blame. I'm gonna blame my M6, but I'm not gonna blame this guy. This guy did what was right. If he quit spazzing out, he'd kill this guy. But he spazzed out, so he loses. Bad match on my part. I could have played that better. So could this retard, though. Yeah, 2 marks for sitting to the side. Sure. Like, the dude's on 27 HP. He could just rush him and be done. Maybe lose 100 hit points in the process. But, no, he just wants to sit there and eat it. We'll watch the rest of the match, because I kind of need the tank, don't I? I've got one more game in it. I'll try a little more. I think I could have killed that guy. If I did not bounce, the other guy would have at least killed him. He kept moving his gun in front of me, which was a solid move. Well, I guess we'll watch this little scout, see what he's doing. I'm just going to watch whoever seems most interesting at the time, and this is the only guy moving on the entire map, so. If the M6 was smart, he'd just go backwards and run. Find a more defensive position. Too aggressive. Come on, dude. Looks like we'll win. M6 finally is running. A little too late if you ask me. Let's go check on him. I don't know how he got beat up so bad, but we'll be playing that one next. I did pretty poor. My aggressive nature got the best of me. We'll just see how this battle plays out. go back to watching the scout. I don't even think the M10's here. I think he went back. It makes sense if he went here, but... I have no idea what the scout's trying to do. It's an unfortunate fact, but in order to win, he has to expose himself. He has to go flush out that building in front of him, make sure it's if the dude's there or not. If he doesn't, no one can move. Because guarantee, this guy gets stuck in the open, he's dead. We still have a Stug that's in the back for some godforsaken reason. I don't even know if he's alive. Yeah, I don't think he's alive. This is honestly up to the scout, but the scout's not moving. We don't even know if he's there. He's just firing. Type 64 doesn't have a ton of rounds, if I remember right. And I should have left. I didn't realize it'd take 10 fucking minutes to get through this match. Okay, maybe the Type 64 is onto something. If there was someone over there, this M10 would probably be spotted. I think it's fine, but no one's doing anything. Except the Sturv. I don't know what he's up to. I'm mainly doing this video to reduce the amount of editing I have to do so I can just post it, but man, I'm cutting this entire match. Fuck this, dude. This M10's seriously cowardly with his 100% health and is going to let this poor Sturv go forward. If the M10 is up here, well, you lose a tank. I'd rather just lose hit points. Of course, when you play like a selfish asshat, that's what you get. You have to make all the fucking plays because everyone else is too dumb to, and that M10 is a prime example. Oh, now that the guy with 16 HP's in front of me, I can definitely go. Well, this confirms one thing. That M10 is in that corner. How exciting. Let's go watch the Type 64 as it continues to hold absolutely still in this bush. If it were me, probably would have slipped down back and around and just get up to this building. It's a scout versus a slow-moving tank destroyer. Like, it's not slow in the sense of speed. I mean, it is compared to the Type 64. Just do laps. Take at least 3 shots to kill the Type 64. Now the M10 tank's point. Wow. To be honest, I'm kind of impressed. The dude sat there the whole time. Hats off to the Stir for making the play that no one else would. And we got a bot Stug in the back, so that doesn't make me feel any better, but we'll try again. The T1 is a force to be reckoned with, but I went after a much higher caliber tank. I should have sat back. And I'll probably say it one more time as I get out of the match, just so I know where to cut the video when I'm editing through it. That Sturv deserved that kill. Well played to him. 16 health in a dream and he makes the play. Hats off. Hats off. Alright, so let's see. Let's never forget that I do this from a casual player's point of view. I am an aggressive player, though. I went in against a better tank. I lost. My bad. I'm not going to pretend like it was this, like, epic move and I should have survived. No. If I hit my last shot, though, the Brave, where is he? Panzer III would have killed him. But that's just not how it played out. Too bad, so sad. I made a bad move. Well played to this guy, though. He really did a great job. 16 HP in a dream. So we're going to do one more match in the T1. Let's go. I will probably not... I might keep watching battles. I don't know. I think I'm going to cut that one as where I died. There's a lot of great tanks in this line. Matter of fact, I think the whole line is pretty good, each tank in their own way. Really depends on what you're looking for. Alright. So Live Oaks, I'm mid-tier. It's tier 6s, tier 5s. So I stand a pretty alright chance. I'm gonna go into the town. It may not end well. Yeah. But we'll see what we can do. Ideally, I'd like at least my damage and hit points. I feel like I'd accomplish quite a bit that way. Meow. Meow. So fast. Looks like their CDT is sniping. And their T1 isn't caught up either. This could be good for me. Jesus, he keeps flinching at like the last second. Remember what I said about close quarters dispersion? Yeah, it's still showing its ugly head. Ugh. Okay, so I just need to get to cover. It doesn't matter what's going on anymore. I need cover. Okay, that dude's clearly a bot, or he's just auto-aiming and holding the trigger. It was like 4 HE rounds to the back of my tank. Okay, so off to a pretty bad start, but it happens. I think I'm going to wait until this dude backs up, as I am 2/3 my hit points down from a lot of bad decisions so far. Screw it. Let's see if I can... Okay. I think I'm going to have 2 pretty bad matches in the T1 today, but it's, you know what? It happens. It's not the first time. It's just bad moves by me. I didn't do any warm-up matches today. I'm making bad decisions. All the scouts are in the ditch. It's less than fortunate. Alright. What up, Alex? What I'm going to do is I'm going to run away. I do not stand a chance over here. I need to find a different approach, and I think this guy gets it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive down into the ditch with everyone, where I can get hull down at least and stand a much better chance of living. Unfortunately, that ditch is a very overpowered spot, and my side has nothing like it. So I'm gonna go down. I don't think I'll get my weight and damage, so unlucky for me today, but I ain't gonna stop trying. Maybe I'll get very, very lucky. It was just me trying to take the shot. Nice. This thing does not have very good dispersion, so yeah. Right as I went down. Still a scout alive, scarily enough. I don't like that. Yeah. 2 for 2 pretty bad matches, similar damage. It is a monster of a tank. If I was in the KV1, I probably wouldn't have this issue. Armor is the difference. I lost a lot of HP early, and I didn't expect to. It is what it is. This tank really isn't a bad tank, but my display today is poor. So we'll move on to tier 6. Yeah, I'm pretty sad. I usually love my T1, but today ain't the day. So we're gonna go to the M6, which, whoa, it's the same tank. They're literally, it is slightly larger than the T1. So armor design, it's exactly the same. It's got the weak spot here. You can't really side scrape. You've got weight to throw around. My build is very much different here because the gun's bigger. So I do use a rammer, but I'm still built to ram because this thing weighs 58 tons, just like the other tank. So they're literally the same tank, except this is slightly larger. Your gun's bigger. You now have 240 Alpha with 160 pen and a staggering 243 for your gold rounds, which actually is pretty high. You will be able to pen most tier 10s with 243. Oh, Jesus. Tier 8s, not tier 10s. 5.9 gun load time isn't bad with the crew I have. And I don't run food. Still have 10 degrees of gun depression. Aim time is still fast. Your dispersion is better by 0.05, which is huge. So you have pretty average dispersion. You will actually be able to hit those range shots much better than the T1. And your DPM goes up by about 400. So you're now at 2400. Hull armor is a little stronger. You get 102 to the front, 52, 46 to the rear. Turret's a little stronger at 191, 83, and 83. So your frontal armor just improves a hair. You weigh 58 tons. You go about the same speed, 39 forwards, 16 backwards with a turbo. And I have still nothing for view range. I got a little more view range than the T1. So yeah, that's the M6 for you. It's very solid, like the T1. Hopefully I can display it a little better in my M6. Otherwise, today's just going to be a struggle bus. And hello, 6. Okay, so we're in a super favorable first matchup. It's against tier 4s. I might go full ram on this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bold play to... Should I play like a heavy or should I play like a fool? Should probably play like a heavy, right? I'm trying to show people how to play the thing, not fucking die. Alright, so we'll do the typical thing and go to the right. I shouldn't have to load gold for any tank here. Everything is well within penetration range of my standard rounds, so that'll be good. I might let this Burza take the tank destroyer or the little hold down position here. And I'll see if I can work my way forward because I don't want to stop for anything. This thing is meant to be a brutalizer and I'm in a tier 4 match. Of course it is. Well, pretty sure this is already over for me. So what I'm gonna do is stupidly move up again. Whoever pulls the trigger first wins. I'd have to low roll to lose. Okay. Fuck me, dude. One thing after another. Ow. I forgot to mention my hit points do go up by about 300 to about 1220. I do run improved hardening, so I have a little more. Well, that's unfortunate. Chassis armor, still lackluster. Had that KV2 not penned to me, I think I would have been okay. Had the Burza not been a bitch and just sat back, a little reinforcement never hurts. There was no reason not to push. That dude has a 20-second reload, and Burza actually has a higher chance of penning that or bouncing that guy than I do. But it is what it is. I'm not going to watch. It's really not a bad tank. I did a lot better than the other one, but I probably penned the equivalent amount of shots. If I had gotten the trigger off just half a second sooner, I'd probably live with about 50 HP to my name. So it is what it is. It's very solid. I enjoy this tank a lot. But I do not play it super duper often, as I own like, how many? 617 tanks? I need to update my spreadsheet and then still figure out how to post it to my page. That's the M6. I mean, its chassis armor is just sad. This might hurt my computer a lot, but I'm going to see if I can pull up Tanks GG and just show you the armor I'm working with. I tried to get hull down. It just wasn't enough. I think that KB2 got incredibly lucky, honestly, but it is what it is. Okay, so let's go down to USA, heavy, tier. Okay. Alright. So here we go. Here's a T1, right? And the armor you're working with, and this is facing its own gun, is... Oops. Wrong one. Live. This is basically what you're working with. It is pennable at almost all angles. The chassis is pretty worthless. You can side scrape, but you got to remember, this is a weak spot. It's just, that's the T1, and I guarantee, I go back, I pull up the M6, which is slightly thicker, and this is facing its own gun, go to live, and would you look at that, it's got even more green than the T1, and I was trying to go hull down, and how I was angled was approximately kind of like this to the KV2, maybe closer to this, and he probably hit me like somewhere right here. It's just, the armor can work. But it's more than likely gonna not. I mean, I just got wrecked by a fucking Matilda using standard rounds. So just know, the armor, it's decent, but you're basically a medium. I like to try to get aggressive. It's not wise. Don't do it. Like, we won. Yay. I feel like I could do better. And do horrible. I want to pull my weight in hit points ideally. Let's get repairs in there. I could really use that. And we'll give it one more go. See if I can exceed 1200, because I'm off to a really bad start today. But this is casual World of Tanks, so this is basically what most casual players will experience. Losses, bad days. Like I said, I didn't even warm up today. I logged in and just said, let's do this. Okay, matchmaking is not bad. It's tier 6 and 7. I'm going to try to roll with the heavies. I think it'd be wiser for me to roll mid. But I'm not going to, because the team layout's really weird. I might need gold for the heavies. Not the M6, obviously. I just showed y'all how the standard rounds on an M6 look to an M6. And seeing that Tanks GG is actually working quite well on my computer, I can continue to show armor models, which would be very nice for everyone. Next in the line will be T29, but we'll talk about that when we get there. It's an old favorite of mine. And that tank actually can hold up until it ends up in a tier 9 match. Well, let's see what we can do here. So I'm a lone heavy, and let's be real, I'm a medium. So I'm going to load gold, because I guarantee I'm going to have to retreat out of here, because all I've got with me is a scout and a subpar panzer. So I might get flanked from two sides. And I do not want to be around for that. So I'm pretty fast for a heavy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to back up. I'm going to wait. I'd like to get one shot and then keep moving. We got a tiger cutting through mid over here. What is this? I have a feeling he's going to die really quickly, which is bad because I could have used a tiger. Bad shot. That dude was waiting for me. Good criminy. And what I'm going to do is I'm fucking running. This is not worth the fight. I will not survive. What I can do is I can turn around here. I can probably pump out another shot, maybe two, to cover this Panzer, but I don't think it's worth it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just sit here and wait.
Fall back from there. Enemy armor is damaged. Watch out! Retreat!
Yeah, no shit, dude. Working on it. Get my ass behind this rock quickly. Get out of the way. Fucking scouts, dude. Alright. Alright. Less than ideal, that's for sure. This is a pretty fast load time. I don't want to do anything rash. Not yet. Come on. Damn it. I just needed to block one. Say it was a pretty poor team. My heavies played like asshats and left me alone. For some reason, my scout was with me, but the tank destroyers did alright. So, I pulled my weight in damage, so happy about that. Still could have done much better, I feel, but I had to deal with falling back twice, so... and I didn't want to go much lower than this for the fact the Panther was there and there was a T-34 hanging out, so... a tragic loss, it really is, but it is what it is. And that's the M6. I had one bad match and one half-decent match. Can't win them all. So let's move on, shall we? Move on to the amazing... I like it, but I miss its old form. And that's the T110E5. I love this tank a lot. This is kind of where the line starts to get really fun. You actually have armor. Let's go to the internet. There we go. We're going to go back. We're going to go to the T110E5. So this is where the thing completely changes. And this is obviously its own gun versus itself. You have turret armor. You can get hull down, and your armor gets slightly better in some areas. Mainly the little track links on the front, right here, specifically. But yeah, you have armor. You can side scrape if you don't over angle. Your chassis is weak, but you can hide your chassis and actually bounce stuff. Against higher tier, your turret's going to be a little less useful, obviously, but it's got a chance. And I think you got a track link down here too, which occasionally helps bounce, but not super often. Don't rely on that. Yeah, this is the T29. Let's talk about stats. Stat-wise, we're rocking with this. So there's two guns. Let's establish this first. I prefer the 105 because of the penetration. So let's go over the 105. I have 198 standard pen, which is great for a tier 7. 245, which is alright for gold. I have 320 alpha. However, they nerfed this tank because it used to be super good. And the gun load is less than ideal for 320 alpha. I have to wait 13 seconds. I'll give you what my reload is here shortly. So you're only putting out about, fully put together, 5.5 rounds a minute, which is brutal. 1500 DPM is very poor. And 0.42 dispersion and 2.7 seconds aim time are really bad. So I've played around with the stats. I refuse to give up this gun because of penetration. It's good for saving credits. Because if you use the small gun, you have much better dispersion at 0.38. You fire every 8.5 seconds. That's without equipment. 2000 DPM. 0.38 dispersion, much more accurate, and 2-second aim time, which is not bad at all. But you do 240 alpha, and you basically are using the same gun the M6 has. So you have 160 standard pen and 243 gold. So if you're willing to sling gold all the time, this 90 mils for you. If you like to save credits, probably the 105, which is what I run. I just can't get over it. I like it. Let's see what Goop has to say real quick. Oh, I guess he's going to send me a replay. Okay, cool. So yeah, I run vert stabs to get that gun handling under control. I take improved aiming to really get that reticle down from 0.32. I've gotten it down to 0.36, including cruise skill. My DPM's now at 1700. I'm firing every 11 seconds. I'm getting just under 5.5 rounds a minute. So it's brutal. If you're willing to have low DPM, this gun is for you. The difficulty with the high DPM one, though, is you have to hope your rounds go through, because a 90 mil versus 105 mil, well, the alpha difference, the penetration difference, you also have, I didn't go over all the stats, and then you've got the, what am I thinking of? The caliber difference. So the caliber difference for overmatching and everything else. So I prefer the 105. 10 degrees of gun depression. That's pretty consistent through the whole line, I believe. Very solid, considering it can look down and hide its chassis. 2.6 aim time after training. It's less than ideal, but 0.36 dispersion makes it all right. But again, that's with crew skill. That's with improved aiming. And I use a rammer. Let's see. 1290 hit points, not bad. 102 on the chassis armor, less than ideal. 76 to the side, really good for side scraping. And 51 to the rear. Turret is 279 frontally, 127 to the side, and 102 to the back. Very solid. It's also a rounded turret, so you might get lucky and bounce something from the side anyway. 65 tons is what this thing weighs, but it is slow at a 35 top speed and 12 backwards. So you're not going backwards often. I could run a turbo, but this thing needs too much equipment to count. And I'm still blind at 411 view range. So we'll just get into it. This is going to be difficult. But there's a special place in my heart with the T29. I actually 2-marked mine while doing Talk to Me Goose's challenge to get the ace for the medal. I worked really hard for that. This is a very fun tank, in my opinion. And the matchmaker's not too bad to us either. We've got... It's tier 8 match. It could be worse. Howdy, Racer. Let's see if I can get into mid. We'll see what I can see there. I don't want to stay there, though, because the enemy has 2 super heavies, basically, compared to our team. We have a 5100, which is not great. The only thing that this thing really suffers from is its DPM. I wish they'd give it a slight buff. I think they nerfed it too far into the ground. I don't think its DPM was super duper fantastical before, but I think if they gave it half their nerf they did, it'd still be fun to play with the big gun. I will never stray away from the big gun. I just can't. The fuck spotted me? Oh. I think there's someone over here. The Alpine's on his own. We've got heavies everywhere. It's going to be a less than eventful match for me, but I'd brawl with the heavies. I'm not going to last against a defender in a VK100. I'm not going to be able to hit those guys. It's going to be tough. All my heavies are consolidating. That defender's almost dead. There's no sign of the VK100 yet. Come back. This thing can still hit at range if you put the improved aiming and everything else on it. My biggest fear right now is I don't know where that VK100 is. And that terrifies me. And something keeps spotting me. Maybe it's the Scorpion. Oh. Yeah, I see. I'm surprised I haven't killed that defender yet. He's been on 100 for a while. Alright. This is the boldest play I think I've seen by a heavy in a while. He's pretty unforgiving. As you can see, against some tanks that are super heavy armored, as I feared, I'm not going to go through a lot of their weak spots. I have to aim very delicately to even attempt to. Oh, he low rolled. No, I can save you. If I quit fucking ricochet. Looks like I'm just not going to have a good day in these tanks today. As you can see, this thing doesn't turn super well either. This thing is... You lose all the mobility you got from tier 6 and 5 for sure. If I played like a heavy, I might have done a bit more damage, maybe. I pulled my weight in damage. So, let's take 2. This is a lackluster day. Could have been a little more aggressive, I suppose. I think I did my roll okay, because the T29 with its lack of DPM is better as a support roll if you use the bigger gun. I really struggled penning that VK though. I think I was aiming for the wrong spots when I think about it. But let's go for the next one. TVs are working at the moment for you, yeah. Okay, the tier 6 to 8 match. They have a very strong, heavy. The 112 is not going to be an easy tank to break. I can take on everything else. So I'm going to start, unfortunately, with gold. Because that 112 will brutalize me. And I'm not going to switch rounds until the 112 is dead. So if anyone else gets in my way, that's a them problem, not a me problem. And unfortunately, Mr. Magoo is on the enemy team. Tragic. Tragic. Mr. Magoo. Well, this I'll actually play as a heavy. In this map, I actually feel like I can use my armor the way it's supposed to be used. And we'll go from there. So I'm heading north, as most heavy tanks should in this scenario. And after I get done dealing with the cluster of armor to the north, we kind of spread out and try to take back whatever we have lost or not taken. So, setter versus an AMD, my bet's on the AMD just for the fact it can shoot much faster. Magoo destroyed our AMD. Oh boy, a lot of people just died. Enemy AMD crashed. So most of their armor went center. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start the climb now, because I'm not doing anything here. There's no point in me continuing the push when I can take another side. So this is right now just driving simulator. This is where I wish I probably could drop the survivability, the improved hardening, and take turbo, but it just feels meh. Like, why would I want to do that? Like, yeah, the speed is great, but I think I truly need the survivability. Okay, well, the 112 is dead. Might as well live up to my word, right? I haven't gotten to shoot anything. This match is rapidly coming to a close. So... looked like it hit.
Track hit. We've lost the track. Track's up. Let's go. Enemy armor is destroyed.
Alright. So I'm in a very odd spot where living doesn't really seem possible. Goo.
Track hit. Penetration.
Don't make me do it, Goo. Don't make me do it. Is it really worth your life? Trying to figure out where that Borat is.
We've lost the track. Track fixed. Let's roll. We're immobilized. Track's up. Let's go.
Oh, we lost mid too. Lovely. Doesn't matter. I have two people on the hill, not really doing anything. And I've got the rest of my team letting me down. Well, that's first round in the T29. It was a bad match. I mean, enemy heavies didn't meet us, so we had no contest, and by the time I caught up, everything was dead. Or at least the 112 was dead. The IS was on his last leg, and my team just pushed into them. So, less than ideal. I don't think I hit any blind shots either. Yeah, I didn't. Very poor game in the T29 today. So, I'm not having a good day. I'm like straight 3 for 3 tanks in a row, and I am playing like shit. Like none of them have had good games. Sometimes it's like that at lower tiers. Sometimes it's like that. The tanks aren't bad. I really enjoy all 3 of them so far, and the next one. The only one I don't enjoy in this line is tier 9. So, all right. I use the same setup as I do on my M6, I think. Yeah. So this is the T32, which was buffed. The T29, I think, was the only one that was nerfed. It's obviously much better. Let's go to the internet. T32. 3D. Let's talk about its armor real fast. So this is against its own gun. Not bad. You got a little bit stronger than the T29. Man, it's teams and me. Like, I'm not performing my greatest either. I didn't warm up at all today. This is my warm up, and it's going poor. So T28, very strong turret. You can side scrape. Watch out for this little flap. I did not know about that previously, but good to know. Lower plate, if you angle while side scraping, is tricky to pen. Remember, this is versus the T32's own gun. Chassis poor. If you angle, though, and you look down using your gun depression, you can make your armor very much work. So, yeah, this thing's pretty solid. Against heat, it's obviously going to go right through you. No, I'm not. Bro, don't even get me started. Anyway, 320 Alpha. This gun caliber is, I think, 105. Yeah, so you're still using 105, but now it's much better than the T29. Your rate of fire drastically increases. Your gun loading with the setup I have with the crew and rammer is at 7.5, 7.6 technically, which is great. 10 degrees of gun depression, 1.87 aim time, great. 0.34 dispersion, not bad, lets you hit at several distances. 2,500 DPM, also not bad. 1760 hit points. I'm a little more meaty than I'm about 500 hit points meatier than the T29. 127 to the front, you already saw what we could do with that. 76 to the side, you can side scrape. Watch out for the little weak spot right here. And 51 to the rear. Turret has 298 to the front, 197 to the sides, 152 to the rear. So the turret's pretty freaking chunky. So that's good. Weight, 58 tons. It's pretty consistent from tier 5 forward that you are about 58 tons despite the size. I use a turbo. I go almost 41 forwards and I go almost 18 backwards. That backward speed is still devastatingly bad, but it does okay. And I'm not blind in this one. I got 434. That's just shy of max view range by about 11 meters, but I can still see. So that's the T32 in a nutshell. Let's dig in. Against tier 10s, this tank's not going to feel good. I'll go over its penetration values when we go in. Against equal tier lower, it's obviously going to excel. Against tier 9s, it'll do okay. The standard rounds has a decent 218 shell or penetration. Shell velocity is not amazing with 945. Gold 252 with a shell velocity of about 1200, just under. So gold is obviously going to be probably what I use mostly this match against a Type 4. But let's see where it gets us. Against a Type 4's gun, and even a WZ-111, I don't know if I'd hold out very well. And we don't have many mediums that can play forward. So I think I'm going to play mid. I'm going to do something different. I could really regret this, or this will work in my favor. There's no in between. But against all the tanks that are currently over here, it might be beneficial this way. Excellent. I'd ideally like to get him out, but I'm a bit of a realist. Okay, so our one line is really pushing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of get over here, get an angle, and try to get some shots across the way if I can. I don't know if I'd rush in that kind of tank. I don't want this dude to get farmed up, so... Ooh, understood. Ah, shitballs. I might die here. I made a series of bad decisions. Okay. Bad decision was pushing. Trying to save my guy was probably the right thing to do. What I should have done is probably eat a shot for him, though. I don't think the guy would have taken it, but you never know. We'll just see how this goes. I don't know if I would have done better in the city. I really want to doubt it with the Type 4 involved. Besides, they got a tortoise. They should be okay. Yeah, I kind of figured he saw me. If I can thread an HE shell, that'd be wonderful. It's asking an awful lot, though. I don't know how to get behind this guy without getting shot. Suppose there's never a good way, and that sometimes you just have to take a body out of the game. Shit. I'm doing okay. I mean, this is... I put myself in a less than ideal situation, but it's kind of working in my favor. And I know this scout's still somewhere here, and I'm afraid to move.
Enemy vehicle destroyed. Appreciate it.
Ugh. Well, not my best. Well, it's my best game today, but I could have done better. I think the unique move actually kind of helped my team, but I definitely got caught out for a little bit. I should have died, but the G-Sor wasn't looking my way. We'll take it. Let's quickly claim that. So yeah, let's see. Okay, I guess I didn't do too bad. The damage was pretty spread, so that's good. Yeah, I still think I could have done better. Hold on. But yeah, I think that was an alright demonstration. I pulled my weight in damage. So, we'll just see how it goes. I'm trying to find... Sorry, a lot of things happening at once. So we'll do one more match in the T32. It's pretty solid. Back before its buff, a lot of people didn't like it. I liked it, but it was like... It could be more. Alright, favorable matchmaking. I don't think I've had this many, like, where I'm the top tier. Usually I'm always bottom. I'm top tier on Malinovka. This is very good. I'm also hold down. The IS-3 is not. Different types of hold down, but this looks very good for me as a heavy. And his assistant heavies is a T150 and an IS-2. I have, I think, a VK-30 and an FV201. So we all have gun depression, they don't. If they go on the hill, they're fools. I will probably eat them alive unless they have the assistance of a medium or two. Let's hope not. So, just gonna make our way in. Got my bush shot off, since people think sitting in the bush is just oh so genius still. It's good for about 5 seconds, then you kind of need to dip out, but to each their own. So we're going to the hill, because that's where the heavies fight. Oh, I have an M4? 54? M4 45, my bad. Is he AFK? No, he's stupid. Damn. Unfortunately, none of my other heavies want to play smart, so it is not looking good. This looks like it's going to be pretty brutal, actually. I'm still going to head for the hill. I think I can hold. I have 2 heavies playing sniper, which is just a waste. The M445 does not have good sniping capability. And, okay, there's someone clearly fucking here. If I'm lucky, a lot of the people turned back because we're pushing the riverside right now. But if I'm unlucky, I'm going to have to deal with all these tanks, and the only upside I have is DPM. If they're here first, that works for me too, because I can sit hold down. But I'm also in the open, so it's a lot of give and take. Yeah. These heavies are close. No way he'd be this cocky. Okay, there's one. Use this build up. Over angled. But you know what's funny? It's even if I'm over angled, let's say I eat this shot, which I will. Lovely T78 here. It's given me spaced armor. Wonder if I can pen him with an HE shell. At this angle, I totally could. More down he goes. Nah, I tried. Should have saved my HE rounds for that Borsig. My biggest fear is that Borsig now. It looked like he had a big gun, but I wasn't paying attention. Ooh, Cheeto SP drowned himself? He's like the most overpowered tank on the team. What a dick. Yeah, I kind of figured he peaked. Know what I could do. I'm gonna stupidly jump tank to tank as I approach. Come on, turn. Thank you. Jetto is the biggest issue now. I don't really care about the Borsig anymore. He still might get me, and has the highest chance of getting me, actually. Did he turn tail? Damn, he did that fast. Okay, sure. I could have kept going. I totally could have. I still have jackass number fucking 46 playing in the back. Where are you? You're so far back I couldn't even fucking spectate you. I don't care if you're stock. Be where you're supposed to be, or at least be on a flank that seems viable for you. Like, if you're a heavy and you're stock, follow the mediums. And I don't mean follow them and sit and snipe the whole time. Because I get it, the stock grind sucks, but if you're fighting with the mediums, you're going to do probably better than fighting with the heavies. This will likely be a win. I'm pretty happy with my performance this time. I think I could have done a little better, but I didn't know the IS-2 was there, and he got that shot into me, which was brutal. And then I took one from the IS-3 on purpose, hoping I'd block it, but did I show off the T-32 armor? I did. I do remember. So I was kind of hoping, but it was unlikely. This could actually still be a loss. I think it'll be a win if we get that Remen tile down. Don't really care about the Super Hellcat. He does need to die, but the Borsig was really the biggest threat. So, good on my team. Other than the guy in the back. Screw this guy in particular. He's moved probably a whole 3 grid squares this entire match. I have no respect for him. Fire. Just take the shot, dude. Come on. Oh no, someone's got to go forward. He's just going to sit in the bush. Oh, never mind. He's just... Is his barrel raised? Is he just accepting his fate? Well, not a bad game. I'm pretty happy with it. I wish I didn't take so many shots, but it is what it is. I am fine with it. Took a lot of blind fires trying to hit that Sturv and missed. I also tried to blind fire the Artie, but I don't think I hit it. Yeah, I didn't. It was, in that map, it's always just blind luck if I do. Alright, so that's the T-32. It's solid. I did top damage, second by XP. This dude got 8 kills, but only did, just under what I did. That's funny. Less than ideal, but we made it work. It's just a great all-rounder. The T-32 is very solid. If you get the premium version, which is the T-832, it's a carbon copy. The only thing it sacrifices, I think you lose speed. No, you don't lose speed. What do you lose? You get... Oh, you lose DPM, you gain gun handling. So you have sniper level... Yeah, you got a sniper level tank. But you lose DPM. So it's about 2,000 DPM versus this one with 2,500. Both are very solid. Moving to tier 9. Let's switch her up. Pull up GG. I'm a little laggy when I do this, but it is what it is. So, tier 9. The M103. This is what it looks like versus its own gun. Let me assure you right now, any tier 10, this is completely green. Let's do a quick compare. Let's just take, I don't know, do a tier 10. Let's just take a pretty standard... Oh man, that looks cool. Divine Valor? I like that. Anyway, that's besides the point. Let's take... Look at all these tanks. Let's take a 277. Let's just take a 277 for example. Save. So this is a 277, and then because tier 10 and tier 9 are full of heat loaders, you look like this. I'm going to assure you right now, this isn't real. And they're just going to shoot you here anyway. They're going to shoot you here. If you're looking down or you're on a flat surface, this is completely weak. If you're lucky, you might be able to get a position like this, but I assure you the armor on this thing is not... I'm lucky if I bounce a goddamn thing. It's really not that bad, though. You can kind of side scrape. You got a weak spot here. I don't recommend it. You're better off frontal facing. That's just the M103. Well, we'll see. Maybe it'll hold up for me. Maybe it'll change my opinion. What it does have is gun handling. It's got really good gun handling. 400 alpha, 258 standard pen, 340 gold pen, so you have fantastic penetration for a tier 9 tank. You have an 8.2 second reload, and your alpha's gone from 320 to 400, which is awesome. You do lose a little gun depression, though. You have 8 degrees now, but you're kind of tall, so it's not too bad. 0.33 dispersion, not bad. Pretty, it's toward the higher side, lower side, I don't know. It's closer to sniper, but obviously you're not sniping. You're support heavy. 2900 DPM with the setup I have, not bad at all. That is very, very good. 2190 hit points, pretty great. The whole armor has 229, 45, and 45 to the sides and rear. Not awful, not great, because that leaves 150. Yeah, I think all 150 calibers can overmatch you. So if we go back, so let's take a bigger tank, right? Let's switch this to a E100 with, is that the big gun? That's the big gun. Okay, cool. So the E100 with the big gun, as you can see, this is all completely green now. You might get lucky and if it goes low, but you cannot side scrape. The higher the caliber, the harder it is. You have to face frontal toward your enemy because you turn your turret slightly and bam, green for days. This is slightly turned. Bam. This is a little more. I mean, that's not even including heat. Let's take heat into the equation. Yeah, you barely have to turn at all. Oh shit, I'm not even showing it. Ha! Okay, yeah. So this is an E100. I'm fucking talking to myself while fucking showing it off. You barely turn your turret and you basically have weak spots. As you can see, it can overmatch the side very easily. It's just, it is what it is. It's a support gun. It does very well though. I'm not super great with it, so I expect these games to be bad, but maybe I'll pull something off. I do run vents, I run rammer, I run hardening because I feel like I get penned all too often. But I also want my DPM and accuracy and everything else high. So that's its armor. It weighs 57 tons. It's a little lighter than its previous tanks, but barely. You go 34 forwards, 12 backwards. This thing is grossly sluggish. And not like a tortoise. It's obviously a little faster than a tortoise, but 12 backwards, ugh. Terrible. And I have about 429 V range, which isn't awful, it's not great, but let's just get into it. I don't run food. It's one of those things where I'm saving later down the road, where I'm just going to run everything with food, but that's in due time. But yeah, this is the M103. Pretty okay start on a map. So I should perform okay unless a tank destroyer sees me. All the heavies have smaller caliber guns that I should be able to bounce. So maybe I can make the armor work this time. I'm actually kind of excited to see. I do need to go get hull down though because I am a support gun. I can't take all the fire that a normal tank could, well, take. This thing doesn't really turn well. You start losing a little mobility. I'd say the tier 10 is by far probably one of the better tanks. So we'll see. We'll see. The games have been getting better as I go, so maybe, just maybe, this will perform okay. We're going to lose middle. Unless the bat shot's loaded, which I don't think he is. Yeah, he still has like... he had almost 10 seconds from the time it was shown. Unfortunately, everyone likes to get in this spot, including the Soviet tanks, so really there's no hope for me right now. So I actually just might get obliterated. Who fucking knows? Well, I hit his gun. I guess that's something, right? Yeah, I'm gonna let this dude have it. No mobility with this thing. I'm gonna load heat for this IS-4 because they're just not easy to go through. I don't think he'll push far enough knowing there's a 60 TP there though, so maybe I'm best off flanking with the Felice. I don't like it because they've got a lot of mediums in mid. We definitely can't push on either flank. This is kind of bad. Okay, so he's proxying me. There might be a Felice in that corner, though, in the bushes. You can't side script, dude. Your chassis ain't built for it. You bounce anything, it's nothing short of a miracle. On paper, that should have gone through. Alright. Like I said, this thing does not have... Doesn't matter how much turret armor you have, your chassis is just too big and stupid. I only go 12 backwards, so... I ain't gonna keep going forwards like that. Can't turn around, can't go forwards. Tell me to fall back and then you fucking leave. I needed your gun. I needed both your fucking guns. God, I'm just being left for fucking dead out here. This thing is just so fucking slow. Ugh, not having good luck with my rounds penning either. That was a pretty clean shot. And just... I don't know what to do. I think I'm pretty just screwed. I really wanted to keep this position, but there were so many people there. No. And they keep fucking leaving me. God damn it, dude. Ugh. Everyone left me. Okay, well, that's... Like I said, I don't care for this one in particular. It is better after its minor buff, but I feel like I'm paper in any situation. It is not a tank I enjoy. It is not a tank I would recommend anyone keeping. But it can have its good gains. Maybe I should have just hung out there and waited for people to fuck off, because clearly the 4 or 5 people that were there in the beginning all fucking left. If I had known they were gonna leave, probably would have hung out. So we'll wait for that one to come out and just, yeah. The M103, probably one of the few tanks I can say I don't have a ton of experience in. I know I have 85 battles, but I really don't remember playing this thing too often. It's not bad. It's not for me. That was just a bad map, in my opinion. I was kind of excited because I wanted to use the steps and take cover and all that other stuff, but when everyone and their brother thinks they can use that one spot, and they kind of can, because there's a little ledge there that is good for Soviet tanks, but they still can't really look down. I think it's great for tanks that can look down and just absolutely fuck up anyone who's in their way. If I'm a Soviet tank, I'm not going up there unless I have 2 barrels, because that's the only one with gun depression. It's really not bad. I know today's been a rough day for showing off all these. We've had the T1. I performed very poorly, but it's a very fun tank. I actually really enjoy playing this one. I do try to side scrape a bit. It kind of helps. M6, same deal. I did a little better, but would have been alright if I had gotten a bit more involved. T29, low DPM, not a ton I can do in terms of like leading the charge. And T32 went quite well. So, quite well for me. Like, from an average standpoint, it did really, really good. I did horrible that last match, but I feel like I really got screwed over a lot on that IS-4. That last cheat shot I had on him, I think I should have gone through. That was green on my fucking screen, man. I hate enemy IS-4s because they can do everything I can. However, looks like we get a little redemption, possibly. Assuming Artie doesn't royally fuck me. And we get a map where I can get hull down. And it looks like there's 2 other Seabros in here. Got stone and gravel. So that's cool. Just going to try to play hull down to the best of my abilities. I could die off the rip. I could survive. Who knows? Really depends on the enemy. I don't intend on over peeking, over exposing. Thanks. Love that. Wish team damage was still a thing. If someone fucking rammed me like that, dude, I'd just fucking track lock you. Wouldn't even care. Ugh. Take your hand off the fucking W key. It's not that hard. Or don't use auto drive like an ass wipe.
Critical hit. One of our tracks is damaged.
God damn, dude. Well, I already kind of knew that was coming. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over here. Try to get a little more out of that Grizzly's range. Switch to gold.
Enemy armor is hit.
It was a tough shot. Glad I hit it. Not a very good trade, but considering I've hit him twice and he's hit me once, I suppose it's a good trade. Bad move on me. Really bad move on me.
We didn't even scratch them.
I don't know how that Grilly's still alive, dude. He's been spotted. I guess we just gotta give it time. Give it time. Beautiful. No. Oh. The 8 degrees really does feel limiting. Not gonna lie. In a map like this where everything relies on you being holed down almost perfectly, this I feel a little restricted for sure. Okay, well now I know there's a medium somewhere over this way. No! I should have died. I hate cruise control. Fucking hate it. Because no one knows how to fucking pay attention, and then you spin someone else out, and congrats. That 2 to 3, 5 seconds of getting spun out probably could cost you the game. Literally. This game is determined off speed, man. If you get spun out, it could literally cost you. If you spin your scout out, it's game. It's game. Flush to the broadside. Bounce. Would have rather hit the one that bounced. Alright, much better game. 2,400 done, 2,000 assist. Could it have been better? Yes. I think my biggest flaw was I forgot about the T30. And I took one to the fucking face. And that sucked. But overall, not a bad game. I'll take 4,000. 4,500 combined, roughly. And I don't have all my field mods, so I will put a bonus for that. That was much better than the first game, obviously. It can perform. So, it just... first match, I think it was just bad map. Being able to get hull down does make all the difference. Still think I could have played it better, but I'm happy with that performance. So next, the crown jewel. The T110E5. It's pretty great. It's 400 alpha, so your gun's pretty much the same. I have 259 pen on my standard, 258. 340, so you have basically the same gun as you do on the M103. You reload in 7.3 seconds. 8 degrees of gun depression, 1.97 aim time, 0.31 dispersion. You basically have a sniper gun and about 3,300 DPM, and I'm not running food, so all those could be drastically improved. 2270 hit points, not bad. Now, the trick to this tank is probably to aim more at its turret. Let's go to internet. We will now look at the T110E5. Let's talk about its armor. Bam! That's versus its own gun. I think it's pretty clear where we shoot it. The thing is that lower plate can actually be very tough to pen. The more angled it is, the harder it is to pen, because the chassis is actually thicker than the turret. But this is just versus its own gun. Let's give it something to compare to. Oops. Nope, that's not what I want. Go back. Compare. Let's take a 60 TP. Bam. So 60 TP, slap a heat round on it, and the armor doesn't get quite as good, obviously. But overall, it's very solid. It can side scrape. There's some weak spots in there, but you should be able to block most things. Let's go back to the game. You have we talked about its DPM. Let's talk about the hull. Hull has 254, almost 300 millimeters on its frontal plate. Lower plate's a little weaker, obviously. Top plate's pretty much impenetrable unless you have a really big caliber gun. You have 76 millimeters of side armor. You can side scrape damn near any gun in the game. Just don't overexpose. And you got 38 millimeters to the rear, so paper thin in the rear. You've got this stupid large cupola, which is a weak spot. It can bounce occasionally, kind of like a tortoise cupola. Tortoise cupola is still a little better, but it's still a very, very solid tank. Turret armor, 203 to the front, but it's very slanted, so you're borderline impenetrable. 127 to the side and 76 to the rear. I mean, it's all right. This tank is pretty freaking great. You've lost more weight. It's funny, this tank actually loses its weight to becoming a top tier heavy. You are now 54.5 tons. So being 54.5 tons, I do not advise ramming anything at tier 10 unless it's a very lightly armored medium. Can go up to 41 forwards, 14 backwards. It's not ideal. You still go backwards stupid slow. And I have 443 view range, which is 2 meters shy of max. I do not run food on this loadout, so everything could be a little better. But this thing, its DPM is great. You really feel like you can put down fire. Its armor's pretty good, other than the big tumor you have on top. Let's give it a couple goes. Okay, it's a map I don't enjoy. On the side, I don't enjoy. I could support the mediums, because we have an extra heavy. Or I could help decimate the heavies. I think there's more than enough mediums to do the job. My fear is if the 260 goes with them. And all our mediums are... Commit. I gotta commit. Let's decimate whoever's over here, then turn around. I really do like this thing. Forward, it doesn't feel bad. Backwards, it's obviously gonna feel terrible. But I really enjoy this tank. More than any other one in the line, minus maybe the T29. But the T29 is more of a... What's the word? Nostalgia. I think it's more of a nostalgic thing for me. I am biased. I like it because it was amazing back then, and I refuse to let go. But the E5 is definitely great. It's actually a bit better than the S-Conk now in terms of DPM, so if you're looking for a DPM with decent armor, this is your beast. If you're looking for something British with the same thing, I would go with the S-Conk, but it's the British. Ew. And I called it. The 260 went the medium road, so we need to go like nobody's business. Matter of fact, I'll go back. This is probably going to be a pretty shitty match for me, but it's better than just sitting here. Like, yeah, I could keep pushing. I just don't think it's worth it. That 260 and all his friends are probably behind him, and all my team is moving away from the point when they need to be getting in pretty solid range of the point. So this is probably going to be an overall pretty crappy game for me, but I am going to do my best to bring it back. There's actually a lot of rubble right there. And even if this 260 dies, his friends are right there.
Enemy armor is damaged. Penetration.
This thing's gun is snappy. I do recommend. 260 got caught out because he decided to go on his own instead of helping everyone else. My goal is to find out who's on the point. I don't really care about this guy. If he hits me, whatever. There we go. That's who I want to see.
Enemy armor is damaged. Track hit. Enemy hit. Enemy hit. Enemy vehicle destroyed. We've hit them. Penetrate their armor. Enemy armor is hit. The commander's injured.
Following this guy is probably not my smartest move, but if I can catch him before he hits that corner, I'm... This is not good. I'm not going to play fuck games with this dude. I'm just going to let him go. The onslaught's over here. I still have a long ways to go.
Penetration. We're immobilized. Enemy armor destroyed.
Alright.
What's next? Let's roll.
Nah.
We've had it. Everybody out.
Alright, that was decent. I think going back was still the right play. I think my 260 going forward was the dumbest thing possible. Going solo on an offense is just never the right play. I'd say you stand a way better shot of going defense and solo, because then you control the engagement. But going forward and not knowing what the hell's there and leaving the rest of your team to basically die was just piss poor move. Do I think him living would have changed the situation? Hard to say. I'd say probably, because he could have gotten up the hill faster, decimated whoever was there, and gone on. Fourth by XP, fourth by damage with a solid 2,900. I hit 10 of 10, but I only penned 8. I blind killed the CS63, which was nice. Yeah. Pretty solid game. I'm happy with it. We'll give it one more spin, and then we're moving on to the premium version, and then that'll conclude Talkin Tanks for this week. What is my next tank? One of these days, I'd just like to talk about wargaming, but I would like factual shit to back me up. Next Talkin Tanks will be the Minotauro. So I've done the E5 before, but this is my first time doing it where I control the environment I'm in. So this is a redo episode. It's gone probably equally as well as the last one. But next one will be the Minotauro. So that'll be a fun one. I really enjoy that line. At least the tier 7. I love the tier 7 for some weird reason. But yeah, let's do stuff. I'm gonna go the heavy road. There's only 2 heavies. The fact that my E3 is leaving me and my one guy is AFK, this doesn't seem good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go up here. And my EBR killed himself. Fuck you. Fuck you. Oh yeah, he comes to life right as I do that. Yeah. I don't know what to do. We have like no one over here. And they still have an extra heavy. And he's not even coming to help me out. Well, I guess I'm playing on the defensive. The only other thing I could do, I guess, is go mid. Try to do as much as I can. I think that's my best bet. I'm clearly not going to get much done here. They have an AFK T57 who sprung to life as he got spotted, so it's probably a bot. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut through mid. Clearly, nobody's playing the left, so I'm just going to go. Because right now the game is going way too quickly. And I kind of want to get some damage in. Their whole team is camping and it's working out for them. Well then. 11 on the 5,000 hit point deficit. I think what I'm going to try to do is take that spot for myself. Okay, good. Let's see if I can do anything to help out. Hi, friend. Yeah, well, I guess I'm fucked here. Wiggle. Well, it's unfortunate. 250. Yeah, that was unfortunate. I think my team played like shit. I would have much liked to go along here and fucking take it and just curb stomp, but no, all my only other heavy decided, oh, I'm gonna come back from being a bot and just charge mid and die. So not a lot I could do there. I didn't want to go on the offense alone, so it is what it is. That's the T110E5 line. This is from the casual player's point of view. Please remember that. So if you wonder why most of it sucks, I can probably pinpoint each match where it was my fault or the team's fault. And that last one was the team's fault. The one before that, it was more or less individuals, not the team. I think we actually could have won if we hung out long enough. Anyway, wow, look at this. It's like a T110E5, but it's not. It's the M54 Renegade. So, I'm going to do a couple matches in this. We'll go over real quick. If you're going to use anything to train your E5, I would suggest this. Has a very similar armor layout. Obviously, it's weaker because it's at tier 8. This is a premium version. And it's basically a spit image of the E5. I think the Cupola's on the opposite side. Yeah. But other than that, same concept on how to play it. So, it's a very solid tank. You have a few more weak spots I can show. Bam. So let's go back. Renegade. Model. So this is versus its own gun. As you can see, it's got a lot more kind of weak spots. You got the turret ring, you got the cupola. In certain angles, this can actually be very weak, or to certain calibers. And then, obviously, the chassis is weak as well. Sorry. I'm going to close out Tanks GG now. Let's see how he performed. I'm pretty sure it's crap. Yeah, I had 3 zeros. This guy drowned himself. Don't know why. That guy died. That guy died. I still did decent considering my circumstances compared to a lot of these other people. This 277 came back after... Is he a bot? He's a fucking bot. Fuck that guy. Anyway, he came back and basically went and killed himself. So, fuck that guy in particular. Looks like everyone else made an effort. Just absolute shit, man. I think it could have been so much better. Anyway, back to the Renegade. You have 360 alpha. It's a pretty rounded number. Like it. 226 standard pen. 255 gold pen. Not bad. 10 degrees of gun depression. 2.4 aim time. 0.34 dispersion. All very decent. 2600 DPM. Not bad in the slightest. You're not as heavy as your counterparts on the line. You're about 50 tons, which is the lightest out of the tier 5 through 10 on the tech tree line. So you do get around a little faster. You go at 45 and 17 backwards. Spotting, this thing does have great view range, so I have max spotting plus some at 456. So this thing can spot for itself. But I don't have CVS, so... I use an IRM just because I really like the IRM. I like the snappy gun handling and quick turning. I use vents and I use a rammer to get that DPM and just round out everything a little bit. Hardening is another good one to take. I wouldn't say a turbo is as necessary on this one as it is on probably some of the other, like the tech tree line. Probably needs a turbo a lot more, especially toward higher tiers. But we're going to give it a couple shots. We got a tier 7 matchup against some pretty favorable tanks. Let's see. I'm still learning this as a heavy road, because they changed this map a lot recently. I have not done well the past couple times I've played this. So we'll see how it goes. I feel like I do better going right, but I'm going to go left. Try to keep learning the heavy road. I could play hold down on the right side and just curb stomp my way through it while getting hit in the cupola, but we'll see how it ends. I think I'm one of the fastest heavies here, so unless something else like a medium or tank destroyer goes that way, I should be first to get in position. It's possible that a medium could go there. It would piss me off, but they'd get some good crossfire. And then there's always the worry of who's in this bush. There's always one. Always one. I should not have hit that, but I ain't gonna complain. It looked like I missed. I thought I dragged my barrel too far down. Well, I shouldn't have hit that one either, but 600? 600 my ass, bro. Fuck this game. This thing's pretty solid. I actually really enjoy the Renegade. Probably up there with the 832. I think I like it more for the... Oh, he's fucking spotted too. Why not? Why not? Yeah, I feel like the enemy definitely has the better side on this map ever since they've buffed it. I've always won coming from their side. I've never won from this side. And I'm racked, so unless I get lucky and bounce a lot of shots, it ain't happening. Fuck. Gun being broken is less than ideal. Away! Damn it! I pulled the trigger right as that fucking... Oh, it was a good stand. It was a good stand. I tried my hardest. I fucking had that. I pulled the trigger right as I fucking got killed. I was trying to make sure I lined it up proper. I should have just swung the barrel and pulled it. As we can see, pretty good result from the Renegade. I did start spamming gold when the Alpine came. No, the Kalana. So the Kalana has that sturdy armor, and if he got close to me, I wanted to make sure to go through. I got lucky with the one shot I did put into him. But our result's pretty good, 20 shy of 3,000. It's probably one of my better games today, other than that E5 one. So my tier 10 result at tier 8. The Renegade is very solid. You do have to raise your barrel and kind of wiggle to get your cupola safe. But it is... I like the Renegade a lot. Do recommend. Still mad that my cupola got pixel sniped by the Kalana for 600. I don't think he was even in range to do 600. Unless it was a high roll. But damn, man, 600 of my hit points gone like that. And you know what? I made the best of my situation. I stayed calm, and I killed him. So I'm gonna start doing my list. What are some of the scouts I've done? I'd have to actually go to my YouTube and look. I'm gonna start looking at tank lines I can do for more Talkin Tanks episodes. Right now, the next one is Minotauro. I do a scout, a medium, a heavy, and a TD. Obviously, I'm going to run out of scouts at some point, so it'll soon just be medium, heavy, TD. So next will be the Minotauro. And then the next 3 will be the Sheridan, the Centurion Action 10, and the T57 Heavy. So it'll be 2 for 2 American heavies, but I ask people what they want to do and want to see. So suggestions for future lines would be great. I think the next heavy line, being the 111.5A, would be excellent, actually. But what's I don't know for scout. I'll pick the scout, but does anyone have a medium and a tank destroyer recommendation while I wait for my renegade to come out of battle? I really do just like whatever I see, first one up, I'll do if I haven't done an episode already. We can also opt to just like talk about wargaming, but if I'm going to do that, I need research. So, and my computer's too laggy to hold all that. The Jaegeru? Did I do the Jaegeru? I'll put it up there. I feel like I have, but you know, it's I like that. I want to say I did, but I have to go back and look. But anyone have a medium recommendation? No, oh wait, I have a phone. Duh, I can just look on my phone. A medium. I've done the UDES. I've done the K91. I've done the T100 LT, so that scouts off limits. I've done the Sturv 103, Progetto 65, Remmentile Panzerwagen, E4, E100, French scouts. So I'm almost done with scouts. I think I got like 2 more to go. 3 actually with the Tessac. So yeah, I still got a lot of room. Any mediums? So I've done the K91, I've done the UDES, so I think this is going to be my 3rd iteration. There's a lot of good mediums. Maybe I could pick one. Let me see. So I've done UDES, I've done K91. Okay, so my team won that. So before I look at that, let's yeah, I fucking held on for my life, dude. Top by XP, top by damage, can't complain. Let's look at... Let's get my battle over with, and then I'll let the crowd sit on it. If there's any medium tank line you'd like to see me roll up, just let me know. Now I am going to let you all know right now, there are 2 BZ-176s on the enemy team. I'm likely extremely dead, but we're going to try to make it work. I do not like this. The BZ is an absolutely broken tank for its tier. But we'll make it work. Hopefully I get lucky and ammo rack them both, or they can't aim. What is a fun medium? What is a tier 10? Leopard. I haven't done the Leopard. I do love that tank. I think I'm missing 1 or 2 from its line, though. So I would have to buy back the tier 7 STB or 140. Not favorites. And I think I'm missing some from the STB line, maybe? The 140 I might not be, though. I might have everything for that one. Leo? Yeah. I think the only one I have to buy back is the tier 7. I think that's the only one I'm missing, so that's not too expensive. I would need a little bit, though, but I gotta do Tank Destroyer and Scout first, anyway. And Action 10 is what I have currently next. Ah, fuck.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
I'll take one to the ass. I don't even care. Easy's got a long reload. Okay, I thought I got hit a lot harder. Yeah, I got a lot of time. I'm just trying to get ideas, but I think Leo, the fact I haven't done Leo yet kind of baffles me. I think it's because I try to pick lines that I've already bought everything for, or are interested in at the time. I don't like this stalemate. I'm bored. So I'm going to do something. And thankfully, I'm going to have cover while I do it. Where have I been? I try to stream at least once a week. I aimed for twice. It just didn't work out because, well, long story short, I'm extremely lazy. So, well, I've been here, Mr. Stranger Danger.
Enemy armor is damaged. We're on fire. We lost our engine power. The fire's out. The antenna is damaged. We can only talk locally. Penetration. Track hit.
Nah, got stuck on the wall. Pretty bad match to end out on, but you know what? It happens to the best of us. My team did have everything, and then they didn't. So it is what it is. We'll probably still win. I feel like you haven't seen me well. Maybe it's since you probably stream during my work time. Yeah, my hours kind of suck. I don't stream during ideal times because, let's be real, if I streamed during the evening with Goose and Damien and anyone else who streams late, I would just wouldn't get many people. Not that I get many people anyway, but I'll probably do a few evenings this week now that Clan Wars or Maneuvers or whatever the fuck it's called is finally coming to an end. It's been stressful, so maybe just some evening streams might feel nice every now and then. My schedule is alright. It's alright. Let's do Leo. I'm just gonna write out Leopard so I don't forget. So yeah, that's the T110E5 line and the Renegade, which is the premium variant. We did okay today. It could have been a lot better. I'm not disappointed with any of my statistics. It's just meh. May get some good rate. True, get famous. It's been fun stopping by. My schedule is crazy too, playing here and there when I can. I'm glad I can pop in every now and then. I'm doing my best. I say I'm doing my best. I'm not doing my best. I could stream more. But right now, with maneuvers going on, it has been a little hectic. I don't want to stream maneuvers, then someone. Because it's not like I'm unknown to the community. I know I'm not big, but it takes one person who doesn't have to say anything, who's spectating and watches and just decimates us. I saw that Su 130 pull behind me too. I should have turned my attention, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's the T110E5 line plus Renegade. I will be back next time playing the Minotauro line, and we'll keep going from there. And that's all for the Talkin Tanks segment for today.